free to jump ship into frozen waters and gasping for air for the souls and blood. It's really a pain to look at us still knowing everything that you're worth. Are you
Just another wonderful fantasy.
Give me your go, give me a soul when you call my name. It gives me energy just in case. I cannot remember the way your face looked when you told me you love me. It can't be for your philosophy you are in. It's inescapable, our world.
Just another wonderful fantasy.
Yes, it's true. I have been seeing what you have, and it's so beautiful what you dream. We get in the open hope of that mysterious facade of being. Look at me and make a choice, but my lips locked. They cannot help you from fleeing.
Just another wonderful fantasy.
This place started a foundation firmly in mine. I just kept building it off of your love. It became corrupted when you let your head fall into the floor. Yes, it wants you. Yes, it needs you. It keeps growing, but you keep trying to own it.
Just another wonderful fantasy. I know I have a place in mind. We can rule the space and time. I want your face next to mine. Tell me what your plans can be. We can make a monarchy. We can make a monarchy.
To you, I am God. I am your Jesus. Period. There is no greater teacher than I. I just want to let you guys know that.
I got the $300,000. It's all gone now. I don't have no more to give. You can't join me unless you have something to offer me. Somebody gave me $300,000 and I gave it all back to those people. That everybody that came here, I took care of them. And I'm still taking care of the people here. In 1 year, helping people, I've spent $300,000. Key, how much money did I spend?
300,000. 300,000. Like that.
You spent Key's money. He gave you 20 grand. You spent that up. You asked for 30, right? And then you say, yo, how much you really got, man? Oh, 300. Well, we're going to spend that. And we're going to save my money. And you piss his money off away, right? And you want to blame it on everybody else took your money, took his money. You made every purchase. You said, buy this, buy that, buy that.
I literally not only gave people money, phones, paid their phone bills. I bought them dirt bikes and I bought them things. iPads and laptops and just food alone, man.
Before I start this critique on Nature Boy and Carbon Nation, I want to first say that the concept of being one with nature and eating and living naturally is something that I support. What I don't support is Nature Boy and his misinformation, lack of judgment, and lack of integrity. I wish the best for the members of Carbon Nation, and I hope that they heal and find peace and love during their journey of life. But it is very difficult to heal and find peace when you're in a group where the leader is a tyrant. Nature Boy has proven that he is simply too immature to be the leader of Carbon Nation. He has shown us that he is financially irresponsible, he is an habitual liar, a narcissist, and a heartless dictator. This is a great example of a false prophet. Nature Boy, whose real name is Eligio Bishop, is a former stripper and prostitute. After allegedly contracting the herpes and HIV virus, he decided that he wanted to be a spiritual leader. With the help of his friend Key, who inherited $300,000, he formed the group Melanation, also known as Carbon Nation. Within 1 year, Nature Boy spent that $300,000 on living expenses, toys, and gadgets. He refused to listen to others that encouraged him to buy a piece of land. Instead, he wanted to be nomadic and travel the world. One thing that I observed is that initially, the group had a large membership of whites, but they are now gone. And I believe this is mostly because they discovered that Nature Boy did not have a plan. He did not have any money, and he did not have any land. All he had was the idea of freedom and living in nature with a tribe. But in reality, all he provided was a few weeks of hedonism and love, which eventually eroded and mutated into a boot camp, in which people would be forced to edit videos, record music, and wake up in the middle of the night to Nature Boy's unscheduled lectures and rants, which could last up to 2 hours. Nature Boy's true desire was not to completely remove himself from Babylon. He wanted to acquire and maintain all the technology of Babylon while living in nature part-time. He wanted to travel and enjoy the festivities of Babylon with his wives while living a life of hedonism, where every day he would record music or give lectures and broadcast his life on social media.
We telling everybody to leave Babylon and go to Costa Rica, and you don't even have a place for them to go, and they setting themselves up for failure because Costa Rica is real expensive. And I was like, and we got 90 acres, why don't we just set them up there? They can get in tune, right? And he said it wasn't about them getting in tune. They got to do it by themselves, and that's it. Or his job is just to leave is to deliver the message.
When we listen to Nature Boy, we can see that he is an attention whore, and he loves to play the victim and cry racism. After running out of money in Costa Rica, Nature Boy and his members are traveling without ID and without the proper paperwork for the vehicle. Eventually, they were stopped and asked to exit the vehicle and provide paperwork, or they would be locked up and eventually deported. Now, instead of Nature Boy coming out of the van and trying to rectify the situation in the most diplomatic way possible, he decided that this would be the perfect moment for him to try to change the rules and regulations of Costa Rica by not only putting his life in danger, but also all the members of Carbon Nation. Nature Boy was eventually deported to the States, where he would later migrate to Belize. It seems that Nature Boy's primary goal was to become viral on social media and try to convince people that he was in fact an activist fighting against racism and corruption.
And they already banging on the door. The dude try to come up and grab me. They know the only reason why I'm still alive is because these dudes is in the van right now. Because Canada and France is in the van right now. They don't care about Mexico. But if we was only black in this van right now, I'm telling you, we'd be dead. The American embassy wouldn't even care if they killed us. And we have to stand up for this. I need everybody to share this video right now because it's about to go down. It's about to go viral right now. You see them right now. We live on Facebook right now. Everybody bring their cameras out, make sure they record this, yo. Because if we're gonna die just like this is going down. Look, they out here. They starting to come around the van right now. Right now, they coming around the van right now, bro. All we want to do is be human, bro. They on paperwork. They want paperwork. Open the window. They're trying to close the windows. They're trying to close the windows right now. They're trying to close the windows right now. We can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. He's trying to close the window. Did you see that? This is what's going down. And then when he seen that he was white, he backed off. You seen that reflection? I got it on camera. We got it on camera. When he seen that he was white, he backed down. If I was black, he would have closed that shit. This is a race war right here. It's got to stop right now, bro.
Update. They mashed this up crazy yesterday. Snatched down my man Locks. Let him look close in the eye. Omac the Ancient. Devil got a hold on him. You feel me? Straight. Guess what? Straight though. You see my face all puffy and shit. Niggas straight this up bad, man. Kicking us in the face, punching us in the face. You know what I mean? Right here in Costa Rica, Limon, Costa Rica. Got them niggas right there, bro. Damn, I was hanging on that. You understand? We don't know what they gonna do to us tonight.
The young female you saw holding the dreads of that young man goes by the name of EJ. Nowadays, she goes by the name of Ileana. The young man's name is Olmec, and he was her husband at the time. Olmec would eventually leave the group and join another tribe, not only because of the bus incident, but because Ileana admitted upon arrival to Carbon Nation that she was actually attracted to Nature Boy. When we look at Carbon Nation and we strip away all the metaphysical talk and philosophy of being one with nature and escaping Babylon, at the core what we have is a sex cult in which Nature Boy is solely responsible for recruiting couples and single males and females. The majority of the time the females are going to be attracted to Nature Boy, being that he is the leader of the group. Carbon Nation is Nature Boy's dream come true. It is an organization where he has the power to sleep with as many females he desires. He can recruit a female off social media, have them pay to enter Carbon Nation, sleep with them, and if the sex isn't up to par, push them to the side. Building a relationship before marriage, conflict resolution, commitment are all foreign concepts in Carbon Nation.
So I told her, stay over there by OMAC, don't come around me, because I already knew. I'm an OG, man. I've been around the block a couple times, so I know things. I'm an intelligent being, so I know things. I told her, stay over there with OMAC. She stayed with OMAC, boom. And she was just absorbing all my information. Shit was clicking for her. I activated her from a distance. I was activating her. And she got the information better than any one of my directs. It was clicking. It was clicking at her. The first time she came to me, she was like, we had a meeting. And she said, Master Teacher, I want to be your wife. And OMAC was like, yeah, she going to be your wife, man. She keeps saying she attracted to you. I said, bro, this was my wife from the beginning. I told you that before you let her get here. And I told her to stay over there, but it's inevitable that was going to happen. I told you that, bro. I told you this from the beginning. Check it out. So, when the inevitable happened, see, I wanted to see, me for real, I be wanting to see everybody here with a woman. Because I be feeling bad because all these women be coming after me, and all my soldiers ain't got no woman. So I really let her to come so that OMAC can have a woman. Like, I was looking like I had all these women around me, and then, women are very attracted to me. I want my warriors to have a woman. Shit, I want to have these warriors without a woman. And you see me, I will advertise this for them. I will get on camera and be like, yo, listen, he need a wife. This nigga Flo still need a wife. You know what I'm saying? It's just that what's for you is for you. It don't matter, bro. It don't matter, bro. If she's mine, she's mine. You couldn't stop it anywhere. It is what it is. So she came to me that time. That's when you heard that she slept with me. Of course, she was my wife. We had made that agreement. We were like, okay, she's going to be my direct now. She was my direct from the beginning. She's going to be my direct now, and this and that. That lasted one day. And to me, when she first came to me, she had a lot of, she wasn't ready to be in my presence. She wasn't ready to be in my presence, so I sent her back to OMAC. OMAC didn't want her back. He was like, yo, she wants you. I'm like, nah, she yours, man, dude, take her. You know? She not, I feel it immediately. Once you in my presence, I can tell if you meant for me. I'm not going to have sex with you. I'm very disciplined. Like, if you is my woman, then I'm going to feel it. I'm going to feel it. If you not, then boom. So then she goes back to OMAC after a while. They go back to each other, right? Then, while she was with me, we did have sex. That was part of the reason too. I was just like, it just wasn't clicking. Me and her weren't clicking at that time. I was like, nah, go back to OMAC. You know what I'm saying? OMAC finds out through Yaya, we had sex with me and Yaya and EJ were together. She finds out when Yaya left, she tells OMAC that me and her had sex. And I guess he didn't know that when I sent her back that we had sex, which it didn't matter. That was my wife at the time anyway, by law. And so he's like, yo, y'all had sex? I'm like, yeah, we had sex.
Nature Boy is a failed polygamist and sexual predator that preys upon the weak and desperate. When he first started Carbon Nation, he wanted to have multiple wives and no children. He also didn't want any of his wives to have casual conversations with the men in the group, without his permission, of course. I believe the reason he didn't want to have any children was because he wanted all the attention on himself, and he didn't want any extra responsibility. I believe the reason he didn't want his wives to speak to other men of the tribe who were supposedly part of the family was simply because he is insecure and has a low self-esteem. He fears that his wives would leave him for another man in the tribe. Outside of Carbon Nation, he has a child that he has abandoned. It was reported that he also kicked out his pregnant wife, Pocahontas, who he met in Carbon Nation, after he caught her eating a waffle. Yaya, his other former wife, eventually left because of his jealousy and not wanting children. This year, he admitted to recruiting a female named Mia, who who is a 24-year-old virgin that he slept with and then passed on to one of his members after pressure from Ileana. Then we have a 17-year-old who recently spoke out about Nature Boy, sending her nude pics and accepting her nude pics after she told him she was only 16. Countless females have played the role of Nature Boy's wife or have entertained the idea of being his wife via social media. It should be clear now that Nature Boy does not have the resources, the intelligence, the integrity, or the compassion to be a polygamist. And so although he wanted to live the lifestyle of a polygamist, in the end, he submitted not only to a woman's wants and needs, but to a woman's nature. More importantly, he submitted to a more practical and inexpensive arrangement, a monogamous relationship.
It's good.
Yerp.
You
Say yerp.
having lunch with my beautiful wives.
Yerp.
Diet, having the nachos right now. The main thing that we get online is that well, why can't the woman be with multiple men? And I asked myself, why would a woman want to be with multiple men? And what I realized is that that question is only coming up because of cosmic mutation.
So yeah, he'll talk about polygamy and he'll reference Africa. And he'll say, you know, civilization started in Africa and we were always polygamous. Okay. But also in Africa, didn't those people who were polygamous, you know, those men who had multiple wives, didn't they also have children? They had children. So it was a way for the wives to come together and, you know, raise the children together. And I'm pretty sure that's where they get that it takes a village to raise a child from. So on this frequency, right, if we're not supposed to be reproducing, because he said we're not supposed to be reproducing, then still, why do you need all these wives? Why? I don't understand it. All right, if you're going to be polygamous, you need to tell your wife, you know, she should have a say in the women that you bring in, right or wrong. She should have a say in the woman that you bring in, not just, oh, she's gonna be our wife. You know, y'all get along. That shouldn't have to be. He said he didn't feel comfortable really having me to look at these women and say, okay, she's the one, because he felt like I was being negative. Women desire to have male friends. Not saying that women want to have sex with multiple men. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying let it be fair. Let a woman don't just say, okay, we're going to be polygamous. I'm gonna have all these wives, and the woman she can't have no male friends. I'm gonna be her only friend. I'm gonna be her. That's not right. To me, that's not right. He said because basically if a woman has male friends, it'll basically lead into her becoming a hoe. That's not true for everybody.
So then I took off all my clothes because I was so excited I could be naked. I was walking around booty ass naked. I was booty naked. Most of the females there was walking around with just their tops off. I was walking around booty naked because I love being booty naked. And I guess once I did that, that's when I attracted Master Teacher. And so I walked through the house. I had went to go like empty the cup, and I came back and I walked through the house, and Master Teacher was like, yo, Reflection, can I talk to you for a second? And so I went into the room, and, you know, he was like basically coming on to me. Like, I never thought of like being with him, like ever. Like, I never was interested in being, don't get me wrong, I think he's attractive. Like, I'm not trying to say I don't think he's attractive. I think he's very attractive. But just because I think somebody's attractive doesn't mean I want to be with them. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of attractive people. I can see the beauty in everything.
So there was a complication with allowing you in with Eliana and I.
Yeah.
So you was single for a minute.
Yeah.
After that, because you was like, you know, like, yo,
Yeah.
I just gave you my, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind? How was that process for you?
Honestly, it was always being honest. It was a very like heartbreaking experience because I didn't think that was gonna happen to me. I thought that with I always valued myself a lot, like in the fact that I was a virgin, and I thought that I was gonna be with that person for the long run. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I kind of was like, oh, this is not happening the way I thought it was. But the universe, that's how it happens. It's never how you think. It's never how you plan.
I want to apologize to you publicly because I let my fears, once you entered our relationship, I let my fears of losing Eliana get in the way of showing you love and giving you love. Because when Eliana wasn't feeling the fact that we was trying to do this, me and her were arguing. Yeah. In the middle of that, you were sitting on the side like, these are my wives, 4 wives. Here it is. These are my 4 wives. So now I have 1, 2, 3 more wombs, right? As a man, now I mate with more than 1 woman. He said, where the wives at? Things have changed. It's only me and Eliana now. I gave the wives have, one of the wives has taken another husband here, and two of the wives, should I say, taken another husband. Life has switched up. It's just me and Eliana now. It's Eliana and I. And Mia is with Master Teacher and Master Teacher Maya. She's now with Master Teacher Nubian.
Dozens of people have joined and eventually left Carbon Nation, and the main reason that most of these people leave is because Nature Boy is crazy. He's selfish, he's bipolar, and he's a liar. People have joined with the assumption that they will live rent-free in peace and harmony while being part of a group that shares the same ideology of living in nature. But the fact is, when they actually join the group, they find out that there's always drama between Nature Boy and his wives, or Nature Boy taking someone else's wife, or simply being unfair. Many females have joined the group and were pressured to be with a man they didn't know. In one instance, a young female with her baby joined and refused to be the wife of one of the members. She would eventually leave the group because Nature Boy and his wives were abusing her baby and claiming that the child should be treated as an adult.
So I just wanted to, point that out. The reason that they asked me to leave was because of me and Tahuti kept arguing. We kept bumping heads, but really I was never arguing with him. I just had questions about things, and he don't want people to question him on things. He wants what he says to go, and he has the women that will allow what he says to go around him now. I love him as a person, as a human being, but I can't say that, like I told him, that I'm one of his wives, because I'm not, I'm more maybe one of his friends. I'm somebody who's going to tell him when he's wrong, and they are not. They're going to sit there and be fucking scared as hell of him and just look at him like... But that pretty much tells you everything that I experienced during my time there. So we all decided to be directs. So we were directs. We were directs, and I was there for like 10 days. During those 10 days that I was there, it was pretty cool. He was kind to me. I like Nature Boy overall. Like, he is very high energy, but it's cool. Like, I was having a good time, but the whole time he was like basically mediating between Pocahontas and this other dude, because he thought that Pocahontas was trying to get with this other dude, and Pocahontas, I don't know what was going on, but the dude was like, what the f***? I don't like Pocahontas. And the whole time he calling Pocahontas bitches, hoes, like, you should just go with him, I don't want you. Like, he's trying to manipulate me into being and taking his side. And Pocahontas is strategically playing games with me in order to get me in trouble because maybe she feels intimidated by me. I don't fucking know, but I did not want to be in the middle of that fucking shit. Carbonation is full of beautiful beings. The only demon is Nature Boy.
My experience with Melanation was like, it was interesting, like, for real, because there was a lot of stuff that happened that I didn't would expect to happen, and there was a lot of stuff that did happen that I expected to happen. Like, for instance, when I first came there, it was so much love, like, it was much love, like, I felt it, it was much love, but then, it was like the days went by, it was like the love was starting to fade away, and I was like, who are y'all, like, type deal, like, real talk. So I realized that Nature Boy wanted me to have sex with basically that's what it was. Like, Nature Boy just wanted his dudes to get some, some twat. And so that's what it was. He was like, basically trying to get me to, have sex with and I was like, no, not happening. Like, that's not happening. Like, I don't even know you, dude. Like, and if I did know you, I'm not the type to first night or, like, no, it's not happening. Discipline, like, they be violent, for real. They were violent with my baby. Like, they was hitting on my baby. Like, they was like, you need to discipline him, They was mad violent. I was like, bro, y'all being violent. I'm like, I asked Nature Boy, I was like, you don't think hitting the baby is violent? He like, no, this discipline. That's how you should discipline him. I was like, no. And even after I was like, no, I don't think, I should discipline him like that. Like, he was like, basically had an attitude about it. His wives was like, I'm not gonna treat the baby like a baby. He's an adult.
Nature Boy has come under fire recently from the black community because of a footage that was leaked of him starring in a gay adult film. Initially, Nature Boy claimed that it was not him in the footage. Later, he claimed that it doesn't matter if it's him in the footage. But after a while, he eventually admitted it was in fact him in the footage. At the age of 14, Nature Boy went to prison for 5 years. After he was released, he became a stripper and a prostitute, and he was involved in homosexual activity. The thing is, Nature Boy does not believe in the concept of homosexuality. He only believes in homosexual acts. He claims that it's perfectly natural for a man to be attracted to another man, because homosexual acts are seen in nature, and nature can never be wrong. And so now we have to question, is Nature Boy a homosexual, or did he do homosexual acts in the past for money? In my opinion, Nature Boy is a homosexual. There are many homosexuals out there that are married with kids. At the same time, he could be labeled as bisexual because he's attracted to transsexuals and females. What's really strange is that in his eyes, transsexuals aren't real men. I want you guys to leave your comments below and let me know if you think Nature Boy is in fact homosexual or bisexual. And also, do you think homosexuality is natural because we see homosexual acts in nature?
I did 5 years in prison, as you know. When I was 14 years old, I got 5 years in prison. Now, at 14 years old, a 14-year-old, 5 years, that sounds like a lot to me. It's putting me away for a long time. You understand me? So, when they told me I was going to do 5 years, I wanted to end my life. I was a very depressed little kid. I was very angry, confused, depressed, all through my life. I've been angry, confused, and depressed.
Devotion, commitment. Now, some of y'all don't even commit to your own dreams. Once I made the decision and said I was going to be a stripper, and I decided to do that, I've always been somebody that was devoted, and I made a lot of money, and that money, I took that money that I made, and I splurged. I bought everything that a man could have. I fucked all the women. I explored my sexualities. I did all the things that you could ever really dream of. I traveled the world. I did a whole bunch. The universe allowed me to experience everything to gain all this knowledge and wisdom I have. You know what I'm saying? It was a gateway for me to do all of that, so that I could teach you about it, because I've been there, done that.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Be real with y'all right now, man. In that video, that was me, bro. the homosexual video. Like the video with the white dude, I was me, bro. Like, I'm gonna just tell you right now, it was me, you know? And that's just a part of my life where I was just doing anything, you know what I'm saying? Some wild shit. I was doing crazy shit for money. So that was me in the homosexual video, man. Did y'all hear me? Did you want to clip that? Oh, he admitted it. That was me, bro. That was a point in my life where I did a lot of homosexual acts. You know what I'm saying? For money. I'm not a homosexual. That's just the truth. But it was a hustle for me, and I did it. That was something that was always haunting me. You know what I'm saying? My lifestyle and it is what it is, bro. Y'all can hate me. I did it. You know what I'm saying?
The video that was displayed about so-called me in the video, that's not me in the video. But I always say it is me because it doesn't matter if it was me or not. But I'm not gay. That's the fact of it. My sexual preference is a woman. That's not me in the in the little video. That's not me in the video. But you could believe it's me. But that's unimportant because I'm not here to defend my ego. But personally, let's make the facts known. I'm heterosexual. My preference is to be with a woman. Anybody that knows me know that. Number two, that's not me in the video. But it doesn't matter. It's bigger than my ego. It's bigger than the egos. It's about healing, psychological healing. So we must understand, why is it that the black community are homophobes? Why are we the most racist people on the planet? The most hateful people on the planet? What is the psychology behind our hate for homosexuality?
The first question he asking you is, have you ever had sexual intercourse with a man?
With a male, yes, I have.
Hold up. You had sexual intercourse with another man, Nature Boy?
Yeah.
And you say you're not gay, Nature Boy?
No, I'm not.
So, hold up. I'm confused, bro. I'm confused. Like, what does gay mean to you? Like, what is gay to you, brother? What that mean? Do you know what being gay is and what gay is not?
Yeah, I do.
So, what is gay? What is gay, man?
If you are sexually attracted to a man,
no, that's not what gay is, brother. That's not what it is. Just because you're sexually attractive, yes, that's one of the stages. But also, when you are having sexual intercourse, really, I wouldn't say sexual, I would say masturbation with another man, brother. That is also gay, Nature.
Well, then I'm gay.
Oh, man. Okay, so Nature, the question I have for you, brother, was you bending forward or was you bending backwards when you was having intercourse? Like, was you bending forward or was you bending backwards?
I was bending, I guess you say bending forward. I was having sex with a transsexual.
Oh, wow. So let me ask you, was that you, brother? I think I spoke to you about that when the pictures leaked and the videos leaked. And I think I seen it on Pharaoh's page with the white man, and he got you somewhere like on a surgical table and he's playing around with the penis. Was that you? You told me that wasn't you. And you know what? I'm gonna say I believe you because you have been so honest and open right now. So if you're telling me that was not you, then I believe you, brother, because you have been open to our people today, and I just got to take your word on that. Was that you on the operating table with the white man not molesting you, fondling you, playing around with you, and doing all kind of porn shit with you? What's up, man?
That was me.
Brother, you told me the other day that was not you. You told me on the phone, you said, brother, that's not even me.
It was me.
Okay, so that was you. Oh, man, I don't know what to say about this, man. I just said, I don't know. I hope you don't be sorry for doing this interview with me because, you know, people is going to take it and chop it up and do what they want to do with the video.
I ain't never said nothing was wrong with being, homosexual activities. What I said, and I think that the black community has to address this, we have a hate for homosexuals because we have a hate for ourselves. The question is, Why do black people hate homosexuality so much when it's all throughout nature? I believe in the word bisexual. Everybody that thinks they're gay are really bisexual. And if you're not, then I feel like that's unnatural. Let me break it down for you. All throughout nature, there is shown homosexual behavior all throughout nature. We have to observe this. This is from an objective point. There's nothing wrong with you being attracted to a man and you having that tendency to want to have homosexual behavior. That's all natural. There's nothing wrong with you being attracted to a man and you having that tendency to want to have homosexual behavior. That's all natural.
I'll you, nigga. I'll you, nigga. I will you.
Listen, let me give you.
I will make you my bitch, nigga.
Now you being disrespectful.
I will make you my bitch, nigga. You been disrespectful, pussy.
I'm the most highest consciousness you can come to within this plane. To you, I am God. I am your Jesus. Period. There is no greater teacher than I. I just want to let you guys know that. Now you can look at me personally and say this and that about this person. But if you are a surface dweller and you just see the surface of things, you will not receive the kingdom anyway. You don't even know how to hear. Your third eye is closed. What they call your third eye, which is only your only eye, which is your heart, and that is calloused. There is no teacher greater than I. I have come to fulfill the law and make everything clear and crisp so that you cannot second guess anything.
The majority of the members of Carbon Nation either have a disease, low self-esteem, or have been abandoned by their family. Ileana, who is currently Nature Boy's wife, has admitted to having herpes. Another member of the group has also admitted to having herpes. According to Nature Boy, he has healed HIV and herpes, and Serenity, his former wife, which he eventually passed on to someone else, came to the camp with HIV. Later on, Nature Boy would retract that statement, saying that she actually never came to the camp with HIV, and he just said that to comfort the person he was texting. Nature Boy and his followers have a mind over matter approach when it comes to disease. They believe that stress and bad diet is the cause for all diseases. And so if they can live stress-free and have a natural diet, they can naturally cure any disease.
When I was in Babylon, before I came here to be with my soul family, Carbon Nation, I went to the doctors. I was dealing with a woman I was having sex with, and I was told that I had herpes. I went to the doctors. I had a little breakout, and so I went to the doctors, and they told me I had herpes. So and for anybody who doesn't know what herpes is, it's basically a breakout. You can get it oral herpes or genital herpes. It's just a breakout that you get to show that you have an imbalance in your body, which is really your mind, right? So I was told that I had herpes, and at that time it was very, because of my mind and what I believed, it was very kind of like heartbreaking for me. It was like, damn, you feel me? Because of how everybody thinks, and you thinking like, damn, I'm not gonna be able to have sex with nobody. Like, I'm gonna have to tell everybody nobody's gonna want me.
I had got an illness, a sickness, a mental disease that had manifested in my physical body as what we would call the herpes virus, the simplex virus. I had caught this illness as a symbolic imbalance of the mental imbalance that I had going on in my life. And that's when I completely woke up. I was like, oh my, like I just started, it was like a veil was lifted from off my eyes, because with that incident, it propelled me into searching for more than what I was being told. I felt like I was being lied to. I felt like they was just lying to me about the disease. So then that's when my husband popped up in my life, the Honorable Master Teacher Nature Boy. And I started watching the video, and I just, like, my mind, but even before that incident happened, he had been popped up in my life to show me the way and guide me and tell me the things that I needed to do to get on the righteous path.
Although I have made this video to critique and put Nature Boy and Carbon Nation under a microscope, one thing I would not wish upon Nature Boy and his group is death. I sincerely hope that this group of people can heal and settle on a piece of land that they own and truly have peace and harmony. It's clear to me that Nature Boy does have some psychological issues and is most likely suffering from narcissistic personality disorder. In my opinion, Carbon Nation minus Nature Boy would be a successful organization. The fact is, as long as Nature Boy is on social media and is speaking to people that have diseases and people that are desperate and looking for a way out, there will always be new members of Carbon Nation. And to be honest, I think that some people in social media get a bit too caught up in Nature Boy and his followers. So caught up that their interest in the group eventually turns into hate. There's one particular YouTuber who goes by the name of Young Pharaoh who has been very involved in the daily lives of Nature Boy and Carbon Nation. One would think that he would have the best interest for the group and is simply trying to warn potential new members of the dangers of Carbon Nation. But when I take a close look at Young Pharaoh and Nature Boy's interaction, it's clear to me that Young Pharaoh does not care about Nature Boy or the members of Carbon Nation. After watching this interview that I'm about to play, I think it's safe to say that Young Pharaoh's concern for the members of Carbon Nation, including the baby, is now officially in doubt.
Your baby gonna die. Yo, you gonna let a baby Nah, you giving people HIV. That's your business. You giving people HIV and our business helps you. So you giving people HIV. So you giving people HIV and our business.
Carbon Nation, I want y'all to fill me with love right now. Love.
It's not carbonation. Love. Watch this. Let me you trolls in the chat. Everybody's flaming this nigga in the chat. Everybody's flaming. Everybody put HIV in the chat. Let me remind you who's running this page. Everybody put HIV in the chat. Let me remind you. Everybody just put HIV. This is crazy, bro. Why would you everybody remind them who's running the chat? I'm running the chat. This ain't combination. This ain't combination. No. Yeah, this ain't combination. These is my people. These is my people. These is my people in the chat. These my people in the chat. Look at that. Are you okay? Let me ask the guy. Thank you, guy. Are you okay with knowing that your child was born prematurely and not getting medical attention to see if your child is okay? Are you okay with that? Let the dad talk. Let the dad talk. Let the dad talk. Let the y'all see this shit, right? Okay. So if something happens to your kid, it's on you. It's on you. Yo, you gonna let another nigga kill your baby. You gonna let another nigga kill your baby. You gonna let another nigga kill your baby. You gonna let another nigga? How you gonna let you put your baby in? Okay, hold on, Rambo. I got something for you. But Rambo, hold on. I mean, tell him to mind his business. Look at the Tell Musa. Musa, what about Musa? Who that? None of your business. Yeah, it ain't your business either. It ain't your business either because you left to go over there to be with a homo. Listen, I got the answer that I came for, so I get you. I got the answer. My people telling me that what y'all want me to stare, y'all want me to see you go. What y'all want? Is y'all happy with it?
No receipt. Yo, listen.
Hold on.
Listen, Phil, we got questions for you now. This is the question we got for you.
All right, hold on. My people.
No, wait. You talking to like you ain't letting us say nothing.
My people said fuck y'all.
You negative.
Hold on, my people said fuck y'all. My people said fuck y'all. Let me see. We here for the people.
We love you, fam.
I hope them babies don't die.
We love you, man. I love you, fam.
I hope them babies don't die.
I love you, man.
Let me see.
I love myself. Don't be negative, man.
I don't love y'all. I hope y'all bitches die in y'all sleep. I'm gone.
Carbon Nation may well be a microcosm of the black community. We have a corrupt black leader, and we have followers who have STDs. At the core of Carbon Nation, what we have is an ensemble of people with diseases that have chosen to live off the grid. The more I began to investigate Carbon Nation, the more the conversation of herpes and HIV began to pop up. After looking at the statistics of herpes and HIV, what I saw was very disturbing. According to the CDC, 50% of African American females have herpes. And if that's the case, we can only imagine what percentage of African American males have herpes. African Americans are only 12% of the United States population, but account for 48% of new HIV infections. Recently, a doctor claimed that 70% of black females in Fulton County, Georgia, are HIV positive. Carbon Nation will most likely continue to receive an influx of members that are seeking refuge. It appears that Nature Boy and Carbon Nation is an outward manifestation of the corruption and diseases in the black community. It is also a wake-up call for black Americans to address natural treatments for STDs and its real cause. Not one of your so-called pro-black leaders will address the high rate of herpes, diabetes, and HIV in the black community with the same ferocity that they use to attack so-called white supremacy. Not one of your pro-blacks will address the forced vaccination, autism, and nutricide in the black community with the same relenting aggressiveness that they have when addressing so-called racism. Based on my research, the STDs that humans have were inherited from consuming and having sex with animals. Although it has not been confirmed by the government, many people have claimed that they have actually healed themselves from things like herpes and HIV by simply changing their diet. At the end of the day, it's very possible that the day might come where black people could be forcibly segregated, not based on their skin color, but based on their STDs. Exactly why is it that herpes, HIV, and diabetes, and even uterine fibroids are so prevalent in the black community and not the white community? We love to investigate and debate about the past, and we're quick to talk about slavery and talk about the egregious medical experiments done on blacks. But we're not investigating what's currently happening in black America and the possibility that these STDs and different diseases could be caused by vaccines or the food we eat. The ongoing drama in Carbon Nation is a red alert that we must focus on the current affairs in black America. Carbon Nation is also evidence that so-called white supremacy cannot stop blacks from leaving the system to live off the grid. More and more organizations like Carbon Nation will begin to emerge as more and more black Americans are discovering that they have a disease, and they would rather live under a tyrant like Nature Boy to escape the system in hopes to live in nature where they will be loved and accepted.
I have this stuff around my nose. When I'm stressed out, a trigger will happen in your body, usually when you're stressed, if you have a good body. When you have a good body, a trigger will happen in your body. Something will happen. Some people's trigger is herpes. A herpes will pop out of nowhere. It doesn't mean you have herpes. It just means that your body's at stress levels and it's showing you, I'm stressing. And so you have an outbreak. That's just letting you know you're stressing. That doesn't mean you got a death sentence. Because it'll go back when you stop stressing. So herpes, right, is just showing you, hey man, you're stressing. This is called a stress response. Your body sends you an outbreak saying, yo man, shut the fuck out.
My first reaction was pretty devastating. The doctor was really nice. I pretty much cried in the office for about an hour or so.
About 6 months ago, the doctor told this 27-year-old woman she has genital herpes. She's not alone. About half of African American women have the sexually transmitted disease. There is medication to suppress flare-ups of herpes, but no cure. She wants to remain anonymous because she worries her health, sexuality, and her chance for love are irreparably damaged.
It's something that would happen maybe a couple of times a year, yes, but I mean, with just the slightest touch, I can always give it to somebody else.
It increases your risk of acquiring HIV by 2 to 3-fold. So we're worried about it because if you actually acquire the HSV2 virus, then you are more susceptible or more likely then to acquire the HIV virus.
Dr. LaShawn Taylor led a recent CDC study indicating that 1 in 6 Americans between the ages of 14 and 49 are infected with herpes. The symptoms could be redness in the genital area, blisters, pain, or just soreness. Still, many people don't show any signs of this lifelong and incurable infection. That creates dangerous consequences for African American women. Experts say the stigma associated with having an STD hinders efforts to combat the infection.
It's psychological and social. Some, as I say, make the moral decision to not disclose, and others decide the best thing to do is to be honest, and they do, and they take their chances.
The CDC has an ongoing effort to increase awareness and lower the genital herpes infection rate. Still, this young woman wants the movement to work harder. Lila Ibrahim, The Associated Press.
Somebody said stop before you're stopped. If you were wise, you will understand what this means. Listen, let me tell you something. Yo, when it's my turn to go, everybody gotta die, nigga.